Live from Garry O'Neal Studios in Baltimore.
You're listening to the See.Plan.Do show with Garry O'Neal.
All right, here you go. DJ.
What's up, everybody? What's up? Happy Pod Day! Yeah! What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome to the See.Plan.Do show with me, professional mindset coach, business coach, relationship coach, mentor, whatever you need me to be in that moment, Mr. Garry O'Neal Jr. And as always, when you see me out here in the community, when you see me supporting your local business, when you see me just, I don't know, man. I don't even know what to do during this Ravens season, man. During this tough time for Ravens fans. When you just see me out here, man, just show me support, man. Just say, hey. But please don't forget the junior. Shout out to Pops. And we have another power-packed episode, Season 6, episode 130. No, 130. Entitled in this episode, man, I go over the issues with the Baltimore Ravens. So this is the sport episode, if you will. We may take a little step away from the motivational stuff. If you have been following this, you've been supporting me, you've been checking out the shows, you know I'm a Ravens fan. You know, this, if you don't remember this, you know, you might be a newcomer, and it's okay. But in this episode today, we're going to talk about my Ravens and what's going on with Lamar Jackson. We're also going to get into, part 1 of my movie review, TV review. I was supposed to do this initially just by itself, but then all this stuff happening with the Ravens, and I said, nah, man, I will just go ahead and put them all together. All right. So I'm going to be talking about the Chris Rock special. So hopefully you have already seen it by now. Some of these you should have already seen. I'm not even waiting anymore. Chris Rock special, Quantum Mania, Plane, and also Knock at the Cabin. I haven't got a chance to see Creed and Cocaine Bear, but probably by next week, you know, I got to make time. I'm going to go check them out in the movies. And I think that what I'll do moving forward with movie reviews is I think I might have to go ahead and see it the same day. But guess what, guys? I'm old. I'm old now. Older. And my tolerance for people talking in the movies and all that is low, man. But we'll talk about that. Can I get to my shout outs? Absolutely. All right, my day one, A1 listeners, my executive producers, people that have been, you know, this is their first time watching or listening. All right. Thank you. People, my candy corn crew, people that have been watching or listening, wherever you're watching this from, wherever you're listening to this from. Thank you, man. I can't stress this enough. All right. Thank you. And let's have an amazing show. All right. So can we got our shout outs out of the way. Again, season 6, episode 130, entitled. All right. I didn't even have another name for the episode. That's all I wanted it to be. It's just because we got to do something, man. Ravens fans, you know, we're in a tough time right now. We're in a bind. All right. So can we get to our See.Plan.Do moment of the week, sponsored by Heart Savers Maryland? So right after a brief word from our sponsor, we'll get right to it.
Are you looking to get certified in CPR, first aid, or other life-saving skills? Heart Savers Maryland is your premier CPR training facility. Individual and classroom sessions available. Schedule your training at heartsaversmd.com. Each second counts. Get trained today.
Your See.Plan.Do moment of the week is entitled, You're Right. All right, so if you didn't know, you know, last week or February 21st was my birthday. And again, I really want to thank everybody for the support, the love, the text messages, the gifts. You know, you made me feel, you know, I appreciate that. You know, so recently, right, because of work, as far as like IDs are concerned, I started wearing my ID, you know, across my chest. Like I have a little lanyard. I started wearing it, right? So one of the youth, this I've been at the company for 16 years. So clearly, at that time I didn't have my hair down to my back. I didn't cut it, regrew it, cut it again, so when I first started with the job, I had a close haircut. All right. I just had a beard and a close haircut, and that was it, man. So I'm having this old ID. Yeah. I had this old ID. And one of the kids looked at it and they said, man, looking at my hair and then looking at me now, looking at my badge and then looking at my hair, and said, you've come a long way, haven't you? And I said, yeah, you're right. And I want you to take time out today, not even just the physical changes that you may be going through, but just think about where you were, what you had to go through, and where you are now, mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, all those different areas that you might have been going through are one of the toughest times of your life, one of the biggest fights of your life. The things that you wish for, you have them now. The mindset that you have, you didn't have that when you were younger. And just take a moment and just think about when you ask yourself, or when you say to yourself, you've come a long way, haven't you? And you know what you can do? Look at yourself in the mirror, regardless of whatever this moment is for you, and just say, yeah, you're right. All right, that's your See.Plan.Do moment of the week, sponsored again by Heart Savers Maryland. So again, we get right to it, man, because I got a lot of stuff to say, man, a lot of stuff to get out of the way. So can we get to our song of the week? Now, guys, every week I'm dropping vibes. As a DJ, I love what I do as far as different music, different genres. I'm all over the place, and there's such great music that's out here. So your Greenlight Entertainment song of the week, of course, YouTube is not going to allow me to play it. So if you're watching this from YouTube, this is a perfect opportunity for you to turn around, hit the like, do me a favor. Please subscribe to the channel. All right. Follow the channel. This boosts everything up that I'm doing. Share it. So if you haven't subscribed, now is the time to hit the subscribe button. All right. But if you are watching this on YouTube, you can look on down into one of the playlists is entitled, one of the playlists has all the songs that I listen to throughout the week, whether it's the intro song or the song of the week. If you're listening to this right after a brief word from our sponsor, we'll get right to that song. All right, coming at you.
Having a wedding, birthday party, or other social or corporate event, contact Greenlight Entertainment today. With our experienced DJs, quality sound, and professional service, we look to make your event the event. Check us out on the web at www.greenlightentertain.com. With Greenlight Entertainment, you have the green light.
You know what? And as a DJ, I love what I do. And I think I'm going to have I had an episode actually previously about DJing. So actually one of the workshops that's coming up, because I told myself that each month I'm going to do at least 2 workshops. So I'm going to drop it off to you right now. I haven't even put it out there. One is going to be how to become a DJ. The other one is entitled, what the F do you want? There you go. So if you've been watching this, you're going to probably already get a sneak peek of already what's going on. All right. So Season 6, episode 130, entitled and so, in this episode, we're going to talk some movie talk. We're going to talk some TV talk. And then we're jumping right into talking about the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson and what my thoughts are, if you care, what my thoughts are about what's going on. All right. So let's get to, recently I took some time to go to the movies, I checked out a couple of movies as well as I watched some TV shows. So if you haven't watched them and you want, you're worried about spoilers, I actually don't even provide spoilers. I just went ahead and just talked about how I felt about the movie. There are no spoilers, so you can listen to this. But please, if you get a chance to check out these movies or TV shows, go ahead and let me know what you think. All right. So let's get right into Quantumania. That's sort of the oldest one, right? Quantumania, Ant-Man series. I liked it. So I will give it 3 out of 5 peach rings. All right. Three out of 5 three peach rings out of 5. Um, what I what was up with it? All right. What did I like? All right. Paul Rudd, he's always been great as Ant-Man. I like him as Ant-Man. Jonathan Major, man, he's killing it right now. He killed it in Loki as Kang. He killed it in this movie as Kang. So he's on a really, really great run right now as far as movies. And I think that, he is really great. I had not seen him before Lovecraft, but I thought he was great in Lovecraft. He's been in all these other movies. He's on a tear right now. So shout out to him. I thought he was great as Kang in the movie. I think that it had a pretty good backstory. And I think that the movie was par for the course. I'm not looking at Ant-Man to be like Endgame. So I don't think anyone should look at Ant-Man as far as like an Endgame or, any one of those type of movies. I think that it's okay. I think it's a good movie. I like it. I think the only thing I don't like is that I think they rely too much on the dry humor. Like too much. Like it's one thing to sprinkle it in, but it just seems like they just took a gallon of that humor, man, and they're just gonna dump it every which way, man. And I'm not saying that it's not, of course, Paul Rudd, he's great for that. Hey, look at us. He is great as far as that. But I just feel as though they just try to squeeze every ounce of just trying to have humor in every moment. And that's not always the case. I mean, here it is. You guys are in this whole other realm and you might not even make it. And Kang, if he gets out, it's going to be a problem. I just think that it added comedy. Yeah. It added action and it was great. I didn't like MODOK. I don't know, man. I always had a different idea of how MODOK, they got how he looked. But I just feel like it just turned me off. When I seen him on there, it just turned me off completely. I was just like, all right, just disregard him. But I think it's good. It's 3 out of 5 peach rings. Is it something that I would watch again? Not really. Maybe if I feel like I wanted to watch Ant-Man, all the Ant-Man, movies, yeah, I would watch it. But it's just on par. Like I'm not expecting it to be like this whole huge thriller. Like I'm not expecting it to be Endgame. So I think that if you go into it like, all right, I'm just expecting it to just be, hey, a cool movie to check out with the kids or watch because you're a Marvel fan, you're good to go. All right, 3 out of 5 peach rings. All right, so now let's flip to a TV show, a movie. One that I watched at home, Plane. And Plane starred Gerald Butler and Mike Kotler. And in this movie, it was about a plane being hijacked. Gerald Butler played a pilot. Michael played a convict that was being transported on the plane. This plane goes down because it was in a storm and pretty much gets overtaken by pirates. Pirates. So imagine, this movie just reminded me of the Tom Hanks movie. Where he was the captain and the guy said, "Look at me, I'm the captain now." I'm sorry, I can't even remember the name. I'm not even gonna try to look it up, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So what did I like about it? I liked that, hey, the action was pretty solid. I liked it. It was pretty good. I mean, once the plane landed and they had to try to get out of there because it was in this hostile territory, it was cool. All right, it was good action. I think the acting was good. I think Gerald, that's his bag. Listen, Gerald's bag is saving something. All right, whether it was Angel is falling, London is falling, something is falling. If it's something where he's in charge and he got to do something, man, he this is his bag. So this is his move. So he's gonna do great in that type of situation. Yeah. Michael Kotler, he's one of my favorite actors, especially in Evil. I liked him in the movie too. He doesn't always have to play, even when Luke Cage and, different things he's been in, I think he's a great actor, so I think that it was one scene that I really was like, yeah, I laughed at. But it's a good movie, a good action movie. So if you like London is Falling or The White House is Falling or any one of those movies where something is being overtaken and something happening, you like it. All right. So again, this gets 3 out of 5 peach rings. I'm sorry, guys. I wish I could give it difference. I really did sit down and think about it. What I don't like about it is the storyline. I'm not even going to lie. Like the story, okay, plane, a plane crashing. Okay, we got that, right? Plane crashing into a hostile territory. We got that. But, in the movie, these people, this is this land where there's no police there. And they keep telling you that, like, oh, there's no police there because no army there. So like just this overrun land just ran by, pirates and gangsters or whatever. All right, cool. I get that. Like, okay, I get that this might be a area where, hey, it's rough. Gerald Butler was a pilot. Like, I don't recall in the movie, and maybe you guys might need to correct me, but I don't recall in the movie us having an idea that he had military experience. And that bothered me because I'm like, yo, you are a pilot. And so in the movie, they take the hostages and they're like gonna kill him and stuff like that. And here he comes, like, these are my these passengers are my responsibility. I get that, but like you're not military trained, and here he is going through the forest and like ready to shoot people, and like they got a whole army. And so it just sort of the storyline that had too many holes in it for me, but it was good. It was enjoyable. If you like the London is Falling, White House is Falling, and Angel is Falling, any one of those series, any movie he's been in like that, this is his bag. This is yet another movie for him. Great movie. Michael Cotler was in it. Great. But the storyline was just because I'm like, why is a pilot like arming himself with a gun and like attempting to like overtake this area where cops weren't even going and military wasn't even going? That's crazy, right? So, it was good. I mean, would I watch it again? No, but it was cool. It wasn't anything wrong with it. It was okay. It was okay. It was cool. All right, so that was Plane. But the next one I saw was Knock at the Cabin. Knock at the Cabin. I initially put this as 3.5, but now it has been a couple days since I wrote this because I was supposed to do this episode, and I do for my day one listeners who have seen me sort of bounce from a Friday, and then I said, oh, I'm back to Tuesdays. Now I am back to Tuesdays. I apologize for the delay. All right, you're going back to school, getting a set schedule and then just sort of getting time to record is a thing. So, it's cool. I'm good. We're back, So I wrote this initially to drop it the other day. Knock at the Cabin, at the time that I wrote this, I would have gave it a 3.5. As I think about it now, I have to give it I'm actually going to give it like a 2.9. Let's just give it a 3. All right, what did I like about it? David Bautista, I like David Bautista. I like him. Now, I will say that I feel like he's about to start getting typecast as this big guy, but, is sort of soft and conscious about him being big and sort of trying to come off nice. Like, it seemed like I've seen this a couple times with him, and I'm like, all right, man, you ain't got to keep playing it. You can Batista bomb somebody, but I get it. He does really well. I just hope that he doesn't start getting, this is his only role where he plays that. Like, it's like, all right, cool. It's like, it's good. He plays that role. He's good in that type of character, but So Knock at the Cabin is a movie about this family who is staying in a cabin, and these 4 people come to them and they proposition them and says that that this family has to kill one of their family members or the world ends. So, okay, that's the premise of the show. That's the premise of the movie. So I give it a 3 because, David Bautista was good. The story idea was good. That's different. M. Night Shyamalan has been sort of striking out as far as like, he came on board like Sixth Sense for him was like, man, that was a gift and a curse because now we expect him to do all these plot twists and stuff like that. So I'm sort of looking for him to do the plot twist. And I just want to say that movie was just underwhelming. It just didn't deliver. It was like, all right, cool. You're going through the suspense of like, hey, are they going to kill one of their family members? They're not. What's going on? Why is this happening? Like all that suspense was great. That'll get you to 3. But the payoff wasn't enough. At the end of the movie, we didn't really get the payoff. And I'm going to need the payoff, man. I need the payoff. So I'm disappointed at how, it didn't give me a rich ending. And I was reading some comments and people were telling me it's a little bit differently in the story and what happened. I like M. Night Shyamalan. I'm currently watching Servant. That was sort of it's been out, but I do enjoy it. I do enjoy plot twists, but and that's what he's known for. But it's like, all right, man, it was just underwhelming as far as the end of the movie. So it's like, all right, it was cool to watch. The suspense was there. But it just didn't bring it home to me. So again, three peach rings out of 5. It may be 3.1 because the story, at least it was a different story. At least it was a different, I'll give it, man, I'll review it. I'll say 3.1. Because the storyline was different than something else, so that was cool. All right. And so let's get to the, something that of course has been, lighting up the internet streets, the Chris Rock special. It seems like we got a whole run here of 3 out of 5s. I'll get it 3 out of 5. I am a fan of comedy. I mean, I've been told that I've been funny. I actually have been considering started doing some stand-up. So I give it a 3 out of 5 because I think that Chris Rock is a great comedian. Now, I may not laugh at all his jokes, but I do enjoy him as a comedian. I think that's people, we can't deny that he's a good comedian, a great, one of the top comedians, Now on my list, he may not be top 10, but I'm pretty sure on some people's list he is top 10. So I'm not going to deny Chris Rock, him being Chris Rock. He is a comedian. So he had some great punchlines, great setups. I liked it. I did like it. I laughed at some. I did think that I was about to watch Chris Rock in his career because he started talking about abortions and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, yo, like what's going on right now? But it was a good show. And of course, I can't knock the man for getting the bag. And so you might say, well, dang, man, the slap happened a long time ago, and it did. But ultimately, with what was going on, hey, Netflix clearly paid him money. He did the special here in Baltimore. So, hey, he got the bag to talk about it. So at the end, he did go off about, the slap and how he felt about it, how he felt about Jada, I mean, I can't knock him for wanting to talk about it. Here's was his space and opportunity to talk about it. Some of those things I thought was sort of funny. I can understand people who didn't think it was funny, but I did appreciate the setups. I did appreciate the jokes. I did think that on the other end, so I did again the things I did want to highlight is that hey, I am a fan of his comedy. Maybe not everything may not hit, but it's fine. He did get the bag from Netflix. We're always going to highlight the money here. And I did laugh at some of the jokes. Again, is he top 10 to me as far as in my experiences, as far as what I like his comedy? No. But he still is funny. The Will Smith stuff, was the Will Smith stuff, but I did not like some of the outdated stuff. Like, why are we talking about the Kardashians? Like, the Kardashians, are just them. Like, I just felt it was cheap and old to talk about the Kardashians. Like, it wasn't even nothing really relevant to them. They weren't doing anything. And it just felt old. Like, why? Like, the Kardashians are, like, that's old news. Like, it could have been plenty of other things he could have talked about. But, I mean, hearing him talk about the Kardashians, I was like, man. It it was a strikeout for me. But hey, you like what you like. Let me know how you think. Again, I watched these, and I tried to watch the other movies. I tried to watch Creed at the time and Cocaine Bear. It was packed, and honestly, I don't really want to watch it with people who are not going to watch it. Some people go there and they're loud and stuff like that. Man, I'm not. Yeah, I'm 43, but I'm like an old man. But I do enjoy watching the movie, and I do want to watch it. And enjoy the movie. So I will probably check out the other ones. And if you do want to hear part 2, just let me know. But 3.5s across the board for Quantumania and Plane and Knock at the Cabin and the Chris Rock special. All right, let me know what your ratings are for those. Okay. All right, season 6, episode 130, entitled. All right, so let's get to our entree. And so I remember when I first got this, if you've been following the show, even when Power 4.4 days, I would wear shades and, every Monday, I would, when the Ravens won, I was just going off, I have always loved the Ravens. And so when they got here, I've been a Ravens fan since. Prior to that, I was a Green Bay fan, I enjoyed it. So they're here, being able to witness 2 championships in my lifetime. Some people have never witnessed any championships ever in their whole life from their team. So, hey, I appreciate the times. I appreciate looking at, hey, the defense, top 10 in the world. When we talk about NFL defenses, I mean, I'm not going to lie. I can't even, if we don't even do well for the rest of the next 5 years, would I be disappointed? Yeah. But I can't turn around and say we done had Ed Reed, Ray Lewis. We had Hall of Fame people on the squad, and we won 2 championships. So I can't even, hey, man, what can we do here? But what has happened? All right, so if you need to get caught up, all right, so right now, the Ravens are in a bit of a standoff with Lamar Jackson, the quarterback of the Ravens. All right. And if you don't know, let me just quickly catch you up to speed. So right now they're discussing contracts. This is around the time where people do it. And so Lamar wanted a certain amount of money. I think that the Deshaun Watson deal, because it was so huge, because the Browns had to do something to get somebody there. It was such a huge issue. Such a huge issue. And because it was such a big deal that unfortunately, some people looked at that and said, oh, yeah, we should do that. Yeah. So that's really been an issue. So now you have Lamar feeling like he should get a certain amount of money here. He was an MVP player. He's 26. When he's in the game, we win games. When he's not playing, the Ravens are not winning games. So Lamar thinks that he's due. Big payola, back up the money truck, right? The Ravens are looking at it like, wait a minute, we're not going to, and it's understandable. They don't want to pay so much in guaranteed money and, put a lot on it to try to, keep him. So now we have a problem. So let me start off by saying the Ravens should have paid him years ago. They should have not even been through the situation where we are now. They should have paid him a lot of money maybe a couple years ago. And that way we wouldn't even be talking about this right now. We'd be talking about something else. There's a lot of trades happening, a lot of talks with other teams, and different teams are making moves. Looks like Aaron Rodgers is about to be a Jet. People are moving and making moves and shaking. So it's different. It's unfortunate, when you are like, hey, what about your team? So the Ravens were like, all right, they were in negotiations. The negotiations broke off. Lamar represents himself. He doesn't have an agent, and people were trying to say stuff about that, but hey, I mean, it seemed like he wasn't really, it wasn't really a big issue, but, unfortunately, maybe, I don't know. I feel like maybe if he had an agent, maybe this would have got done, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not in those rooms. I'm not a person that can talk about all this money that they're looking for, but right now they're not seeing eye to eye. So if you don't know, so as far as free agency and stuff like that, contract running out, what the Ravens did is they put a tag on him, but the tag was not the franchise tag. Now, if you don't know what that means, they weren't seeing eye to eye on the contract, right? So instead of losing him, they put typically a team would put a franchise tag on, on a player. And what that means, they get the average of the top players in the league and they pay them that amount. That has happened. All right. So that's happened in some, in different situations. So with the Ravens, and let me make sure, so with the Ravens, what they did was in this contract situation, they, instead of putting the franchise tag, which would have been, if they would have put the franchise tag on him, that would have meant that nobody can talk to him. They're locked in. That's it. They put a non-exclusive tag on him. Now, what does that mean, Gary, if you don't know? The non-exclusive tag means that you can go talk to other people. You can go and see what's up there, right? And you have to bring us back the deal. So that's what it means. Before franchise tag, it's like, hey, there's nothing to talk about. He's done. But with the non-exclusive tag, it allows Lamar to go talk to other teams. Other teams can talk to him. Excuse me. And if there is an agreement, if a team makes a bid that he likes, he has to bring it back to the Ravens. They have to bring it to the Ravens, and the Ravens, they can match it, right? Now, the unfortunate situation about the non-exclusive franchise tag is that it comes with a cost. And what I mean is that with this tag, they're able to negotiate, you know, but if he's free to negotiate with other teams. If he signs an offer from another organization, Baltimore has 5 days to figure out if they want to match it or they want to just say, you know what, we're good. The Ravens in that situation, they run the risk of being outbid for their franchise quarterback. All right. But what would happen is they would get 2 first-round draft picks. Now, a lot of teams probably either don't have those draft picks or they may not feel as though Lamar is for that. Now, if I was a team that wasn't doing well, that they weren't like, hey, we've been out, I would, it's a couple of teams that are on that could possibly do this, but I would go for it, man. I wouldn't want to risk. The draft is the draft, so I wouldn't want to risk, we know who Lamar Jackson is. You going into the draft, you don't know what you're getting. So I would have pulled the trigger. The unfortunate part about this is what has happened. So they gave him this non-exclusive franchise tag. He can go out and talk to teams. Teams can talk to him, and they have to bring this back again to the Ravens. What has happened is that nobody has come back to him. Now, of course, it's still new, it's still fresh. But teams are not teams are not busting down the door to talk to Lamar. From a business standpoint, if I was for the Ravens, this was a smart play because you're letting the market set the tone on how much he should get, right? Because a team can't say no, they're not going to say any crazy number, right? So you're letting the market determine to Lamar, like, all right, well, this is what their people are offering you. So, like, what's up? Also, the NFL does not want a huge, they don't want like quarterbacks making like 200, 300 million guaranteed, because that messes up for everybody eventually. So right now, it's unfortunate, because here's what I think is going to happen. I don't think Lamar is going to leave. I think, well, they put the tag on him. He's going to stay. He has said that he would play if he's been tagged, and he's not going to sit out the season, so he's going to play. But my issue is, what Lamar are we going to get back now? Because now you got to look at it from Lamar's standpoint. He didn't put out for the team. He didn't put the city on his back. He's doing all these things. He's out here. And now, he's walking around. I mean, I don't know if he got one of these. If he wants it, Lamar, if you want this, you can have it. But now, here it is. You're looking for payback. You're looking for this reciprocal relationship from the Ravens. And they're just saying, we love you, but we ain't trying to pay you. Because that's what they're really saying. And they're way off. Do I think Lamar should be getting 200 million guaranteed? No. Do I think that it should be close to 200? Yes. Do I think he should be getting paid more than Kyler Murray? Absolutely. Do I think he should get the Deshaun Watson deal? No. But that's just me in my platform. And I don't think that anybody wants anybody to get the Deshaun Watson deal, because that's a lot of money, and that was just a crazy amount of money because they were desperate. But it's unfortunate that, hey, we're at this point where my biggest concern is, okay, I don't think Lamar's going to leave, right? We don't get he doesn't leave. The market isn't good. People are feeling like it's collusion. It might be. And collusion means that, and what people are saying, if you hear these terms about collusion, what people are saying is that the NFL is conspiring against him and not trying to pay him. And I don't think it's collusion per se. I just think that people know that if they open the door for fully guaranteed contracts, that's going to be a problem for any new any good quarterback is now going to want, all this guaranteed money. It's just going to cause a problem for the owners. And I do understand that. So I can't knock them for saying that, but I think that if the Ravens would have took care of him earlier, we wouldn't even be having these problems. So now you have, I'm imagining that the Ravens keep him. They put the tag on him, but what's the mindset of a person who is here, but now feels as though the organization isn't down for him? What do we get now? I don't think anybody's going to question his professionalism or athleticism, but how, maybe he's not as rah-rah as he was before. Maybe he now looks at this as more of business, and it is a business. But when you come to the realization that this is a business and you start treating stuff only as a business, you sort of lose that wonder. You sort of lose that spark. So that's why the name of the episode was just because ultimately, I don't think that we're going to get the same Lamar. Unless the Ravens say, hey, we're going to pay him this buttload of money. I just don't think. I think that going through this whole thing is just, it's unfortunate for everybody. And now, it may be an issue. But I could be wrong. Hopefully everything works out. And, we get back to Raven football. We get back to everybody looking good. Everybody's healthy, and winning games. All right. So that's my thought. Let me know what your take is on this whole fiasco. Hopefully everything works out, man. I really, really want things to work out. I really want to see my Ravens back at it, but the psyche, the mentality of when you feel like you deserve something and you don't get it, and now you're sort of like, okay, well, I'm now contractually obligated. There's a difference between soft power and hard power. Like imagine you at your job. If your supervisor tells you to do something and they only tell you to do it because that's their role, they can say, hey, I need you to be here at 8 a.m., right? You're going to do it because no matter what, that's your job, and they have a position in that job, and you have to sort of respect it. The issue with hard power is that if somebody does something only because they don't want to get fired, think about, hey, I'm only here because I don't get fined. Marshawn Lynch was showing up to interviews because he didn't want to get fined. Did we get stellar insight from him? No. He was just answering a couple of questions, and once that 2-minute mark hits, he was gone. Once he met the 2-minute obligation hit, he was gone. With hard power, and someone does something only because they don't want to get fined, we don't get the everything that we want. With soft power, that's a relationship. So if Ravens would have took care of him, maybe we get everything and extra from Lamar. Will we now get contractually obligated Lamar? I don't think so. But what if we do? What if now we start noticing some things where it's sort of like, all right, whatever, and we have that? I don't believe that. I don't think that he's that type of player, that type of person, but we could. And that's the unfortunate part, is that now the Ravens have put a situation where that could happen. And hopefully that doesn't happen. All right, so that's just my point. That's my view. You let me know what you think. You think he's going to get traded? You think that he's going to stay? You think he's going to be happy here? Let me know. Comment, on all social media platforms. And guess what, guys? That's the end of this episode. Episode 130, man. I've been on 130 episodes. All right. You can catch another episode, another one, and another one, and another one. Each and every episode dropping weekly. All right. Go back. You could go to the website, See.Plan.Do for any previous episodes. All right. If you want to be on the show, you want to be a guest on the show, hey, hit me up. Let me know what we want to talk about. Let me know what you're offering. If you're, you have a book, an event, something going on, you're just being an awesome person, you want to share something, what's going on. Let's see if it works. All right. And again, as I've said almost over 130 times. Yeah, you watching the show. Yeah, you listening to the show. You are the best part of the show. All right. And I appreciate your support. I appreciate everything you've done. Every person who has ever provided anything for this show, whether they're here with me now or they moved on, as far as relationships go, I appreciate every single person that has added insight, input, advice, anything to this show. You are the best part of the show. So until we see each other again, guys, because we'll see each other, right? You see me out here. I need to start wearing this again. I want to start wearing this again, Ravens. Let me wear it again. All right. I had to put it on because I was like, man, my Ravens are going through a tough time. Until we see each other again, until we talk again, because we're going to talk about it. Let me hear what's going on with you. What are we talking about this week? All right. We could talk about the Sierra and, and Sierra, what she had on at the Oscars, but I don't. Here's a little quick blurb. She's married and she looks good. And who cares? What else? She's a celebrity. She was at a celebrity event. She looked good. I mean, that's what she's supposed to do. All right. So until we talk again, and until we share those special moments again, hey guys, always remember, see what you want to do in this world. Envision it. Close your eyes. What do you want to do? Can you see it? If you can't, make sure you check out the workshop. What the F do you want? And, close your eyes, envision it. All right. See what you want to do. Hey, plan it out. Put that plan together. And don't just put the plan together. It looks good as a vision board. It looks good when you write it down. It looks good in your phone. It looks good when you tell people on social media what you're about to do. Sounds good when you're telling your friends. Don't just plan it. Set that alarm. Get up in that morning. Get to the gym. Get to work. And when you're in there, just do it. All right, your life coach loves you, man. Tell 3 people you care about them, you love them, and do something for yourself this week. All right? Same life coaching time, same life coaching channel. See ya.